Hey everybody, Tom Sparks with Sparks Media Group, and in this video we're going to scan this roughly 1933 square foot house with the Matterport PRO3. So I have my tripod here. The first step we're going to do is connect the T-mount to the tripod. This is a specific mount for Matterport. We're going to open that up, and then it just goes right in here. And then we lock it down, and now it's secure. Next step we're going to do is take the lens cap off, and we're going to make sure our lens is clear, and it is. We're going to turn it around and hold the power button until the logo pops up. And I'm going to control the Matterport today with my iPad Pro 12.9 inch 6th generation, I believe. Launch Matterport. Now we'll go to settings, and we're already connected, as you can tell. So we'll go back and we'll do new job. Told me there was an update. So we'll close that out, do that again. Hit save. All right, so I'm going to show you how to scan this house. It's multi-level. We'll start at the front door like we always do. And you want to hide out of the way. Just hit the button. I'm going to keep this a little low so you guys don't see it. We're just going to scan. Now, I call this the main level. It's like a landing, so we're going to call this the main level. As long as there's under 4 steps, you don't have to make a new floor. So we'll have main level, down there will be lower level, and then up there will be upper level. Sorry, I can't talk. So yeah, we just want to scan. You want to fill in this mini map as best you can so there's no black marks. These black areas are considered holes in the mesh, and so you want to get that filled in. As we're going, we're going to mark windows, mirrors, that sort of thing. So to do that, you're going to hit these lines and do window, hit add window, and then you simply draw it with your finger where it goes. There's an arrow pointing to inside the house, and that's it. Alternatively, you can use an Apple Pencil. We can do the same thing. We're going to mark it, add window. It's a little easier to do it with this than it is your fingers. That's that. As far as placement, you want to have line of sight. Typically in a house, for marketing purposes, I'll do about every 3 to 5 feet. But you'll be able to tell what you need to do, because if this mini map has a lot of black areas, that means there's holes in the mesh. And like I said, you want to get that filled in. Obviously behind a couch, you're not going to be able to do that, but get as much as you can. You also want to do intersecting points, doorways. So I'm always going to scan on this side of the doorway and then on the other side. You want to maintain line of sight with your previous scans, which is to say that where your previous scan was should be able to see the camera, and vice versa. Your camera should be able to see where the previous scan was. As long as you do that, you shouldn't have any issues. Let's time it and see how long it takes to do a scan, shall we? Open up our clock here, and I'm gonna hit the button at the same time. Let's see, let's do it over here. All right, ready, set, go. The scan's done. Okay to move camera, aligning, and it shows up. So it was 15 seconds, almost 16 seconds for the scan. It was about a little over 6 seconds to download and align the data. 22 seconds total per scan. Not bad. Now, you'll notice that there's some windows here that I didn't mark, and I'll show you why later. And there's a mirror right here that I'm gonna mark now, so I don't forget about it. I'm gonna go to mirrors, hit add mirror, and you can simply put it where it needs to go. One thing about the Matterport PRO3 camera was that it really had trouble, I think because of the infrared technology that it used instead of LiDAR. It really had trouble with figuring out when something changed. And I'll tell you what I mean. Here we have a pantry that's closed. I don't want that on the main tour, but I do want to capture it for floor plan purposes. So we did a scan here with the door closed. Next, I'm going to open the door, put the camera in, and we're going to see how it handles it. The PRO2 kind of would have been, I don't want to say a nightmare, but a lot more work. With the PRO2, you would have had to keep the door, And see, it handled it perfectly. Look, captured it. Sorry, so with the Pro 2 you would have had to have the door kind of like that. And so what you do is you would scan here, scan there, you would scan here, and then you would go inside. I always want to do tops and bottoms of stairs. Put the camera there. We have another window to mark. Do the top of this. Sorry, so that was the bottom. That was the top of those stairs. This is the bottom of these stairs. Now, once this downloads, we're going to go to our floor, and we're going to edit this, and we're going to call it main level, and then we're going to call this lower level. Now, we only have 4 stairs, so you don't have to do in the middle of the stairs, but we're going to do it anyway. I'll show you why. So when we're going down the stairs, you want to make sure your tripod's level. So I have my camera in the middle of the stairs. We are going to do a scan. So I'm gonna hide out of the way. And it's gonna put it here. Sorry, there, yeah. But what we wanna do is move scan to a floor. And we're gonna add a new floor, and we're gonna call it lower level. So now anything from here and below is gonna be on the lower level floor. Get our tripod, and we'll do the bottom of the stairs next. Actually, take that back. I'm going to delete that marking right now. You don't want to mark anything where we're going to go. So the reason I didn't mark the windows by the door, and the reason I'm not marking this door, is because we're going to go out there eventually. And actually what I'll do is I'll mark the stationary windows, not the sliding window. Now if you have a Pro 2, you'll know that the camera, because it uses infrared, cannot see in sunlight. So where the sun is coming in here, it would have been represented by just a big black hole there. So that's the advantage of having a Pro 3. The workaround for that is to do a scan as a 360 pano, and then using Cortex convert it to a 3D with the Pro 2. It's an extra step. I still have a couple Pro 2s, and they're great. I like them. I like them for interior only scans, apartments. We do a lot with Pro 2s. Interior only houses. But the Pro 3s are, to me, just where it's at. Now we have a lot of scan data in this lower living area. I want to see how it handles the closet. So I'm going to open the closet, simply put the camera half in and half out, just like that, and we'll see what it does. I'm hoping it aligns because it's able to see the main living area, but there might be too much change. I'll show you what we do for that. And I found it. Cool. Now I don't have to be worried about the black right underneath the scan 23 because we're going to hide this pano or the scan point from the 3D tour. Says scan again. Why didn't it like that? Maybe we're too far from the door. So there we go. Mark this window. Mark the mirror. Now, the garage. See, hopefully it finds it. And it did. Cool. Alright. So I don't have my trusty wedgets with me, my door stops. I'm going to hide behind the door. Okay. Found it. We'll mark that door as a window because there's windows. And then there's a big mirror on this wall. So I'll mark that. Okay, now we'll head upstairs to what we're gonna call the upper level. So again, there's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 steps. So we'll do halfway. And this tripod, I like to have 2 feet on one step and 1 on the lower step. We're gonna go back to main level. And then we're gonna scan. And then we're gonna move, no, I'm sorry, we're gonna keep that scan there. Now we'll do another scan on the top, like so. Now once it shows up, we're gonna move to a floor and we're gonna call it upper level. Now, so how that works is the floor that you're on, everything up until the next floor is all on that floor, if that makes sense. So we scan in the middle, that's on the floor that we're on. Now, because this is a completely new floor, that's the first scan on that new floor. I know I'm not explaining that right, but hopefully you guys get it. So we're about 24 minutes right now on this scan. We've done about 31 scans. Either side of the doorway. Now, I'm not gonna mark these as mirrors yet. There's a whole wall of mirrors right there. I'm not gonna mark them yet. I'll show you why. Now, again, kind of halfway in, halfway out of the closet like we did, like I'm showing. And I'm only going to mark with the mirror where the camera doesn't go. So we'll hit mirror. I'm going to add it there. I'm going to add it right about there. And we'll see what happens. There you go. So when you look at this scan, you're able to see in the closet. And that's good for floor plan purposes. All right, so now let's continue down the hallway. Remember, we want to do intersecting points, so doorways. Now I'm not going to do right here, and I'm not going to do right here. Kind of going to do in the middle there. But when I'm in these rooms, I'm going to do right on the doorway side. Now I see a lot of people that buy the various 360 cameras and use Matterport to capture house with those. I've always been under the mindset that use the best tool possible. And so I feel like the Matterport Pro 2 was the best tool possible for doing Matterport tours until the Pro 3 came out, and now it's the Pro 3. So if you were to order a scan from us at Sparks Media Group or Scan Your Space, and you wanted Matterport as the technology, we would only use the Pro 3 and maybe the Pro 2 if requested. We're not going to use any of the 360 cameras because I just don't think the quality is there from the imagery, the accuracy. It certainly doesn't have LiDAR. If you have questions about scanning, how to start a business with Matterport, how to scan a house, how to scale a business, I do offer paid Zoom consultation calls where we'll hop on a Zoom call for an hour. It's recorded, and you can ask me whatever you want, and I'll answer it to the best of my ability. I've done a lot of calls with people, and I think they think it's valuable. I've heard it's been. Might as well get all the information up front so that you're not having to fumble throughout the way as you go. When I started this, there was Facebook groups, but I didn't see a lot of videos out there on all the ins and outs of scanning. And so I started creating them. And, you know, as I've went along and learned more and more, I just put all that information in these videos. But previous to that, I hadn't seen a lot. I'm gonna mark that as a mirror, mark that as a window, and work good with that. If you have a project you need scanned, We rent Matterport PRO3 cameras and Matterport Pro 2, as well as some other technologies. You can find information about that at www.scanyourspace.com. We offer daily local rental rates. We offer weekly rates where we'll ship anywhere within the United States, and we offer monthly rates. We offer tripods and devices and laptops and everything you need to process tours. And if you don't want to scan the space but you have a project in mind, we offer scanning services. And you can find information about that at www.sparksmediagroup.com or www.scanyourspace.com. Okay, let's just double check that. You can see the whole closet. Great. All right, we are done with the interior of the house. That was 56 scans. Took us a little over 36 minutes to do. And it was, again, roughly 1,933 square feet. So now we'll do the outside spaces. Now we're going to open this door and we're going to do a scan right on the inside. I'm going to go back to lower level. Sorry, give me 1 second, guys. All right. Put that right there. right, now we're building the outside, and you can see the throw of the LiDAR is really pretty impressive. It's getting hot out here, so we're gonna have to make this quick. When I'm circling the Matterport, I want to make sure my shadow's not captured in the camera. Now when I'm outside, I might do every, I don't know, 7 to 10 steps. Shut the door now that we don't need it open. That was 6 steps from the previous scan to this one. And I'm not going to go all the way back here. I think this is enough data to capture all this. We shall see. Yeah, I'd say it's enough. I'm gonna do about 5 steps there, only because I don't want to get in the reflection of the window. There are 7 steps. Another 7 steps. There are 6 steps. There are 6 steps. And we'll take another pass this way. We have 6 steps. So we're kind of zigzagging the yard. 5 steps. That was 5. I'm gonna have to duck and dodge this. Hope that wasn't in it. What I'm going to do is trim, add a trim tool, and it's going to remove everything from the 3D mesh outside of this trim tool. The reason we want to do that is to make the dollhouse that we get back a little more cleaner. So I just marked everything. Excuse me. I want to make sure that I wasn't capturing this last one. Came around the corner a little prematurely. Nope. Okay. So we have the backyard done. We're at 48 minutes so far, 80 scans. We're we're going to do the front yard. So to do the front yard, we're going to start in here on main level. We're going to do a scan. I'm going to mark these two side windows. And again, thinking about inside and outside of doors, I did one on this side of the doorway and I'm doing one on the opposite side. Now there's a few steps, so I'm going to do the very top of the steps, and we're going to put that on this main level. And then once we go down some steps, all that's going to be on the lower level. And I'll show you how that works. So now we'll go down to about here. And again, level the tripod. This is a ProMaster Specialist SP532C, and it has a really handy level right here that I like. So we're going to do a scan there. Now you can see that this upper level has a lot of yard detail, and so when we move this next scan to the lower level, it'll know where it's at, hopefully, because of the yard detail in the upper level. I'll close this door. And we're gonna move scan to lower level. Now, I should put it in the right spot. And you can see it did. 84 is right there. Super easy to scan with Matterport. It's kind of dummy proof in some regard. Alright, make sure our camera's as level as possible. Matterport will account for a little bit of unlevelness, but you want to get it close. And what we can do is extend the trim all the way down. Go right here. Okay, now I have the house scanned in the front. We're going to trim that. And we're going to add a trim here and remove everything off the sidewalk. There you go. Alright, so there we have it. 99 scans, front yard, backyard. I don't know the lot size, but we'll find that out. 1933 square feet, sorry, roughly. And it took 58 minutes, so almost an hour. Next step I'll do is turn off the camera, and I will hit the upload button. We're gonna change our organization. I upload to a few different companies. This uploading scan, 63% done. Already, that's pretty quick. 64. We're gonna walk to the car and put this away. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. If you find this video useful, give it a thumbs up, share it, I'd appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed, please do so. It helps me out with those YouTube algorithms and all that good stuff. But yeah, this is still uploading. I will let this finish, and I'll show you what it looks like when we get in front of the computer. Thanks for watching.